Hello Libra, welcome to your November reading. I've been shuffling these cards like a crazy person off camera, so excuse me. I'm just going to do a few more shuffles and we're going to get straight into the reading for November. See what's happening for Libra in the month of November. I'm not taking those because they did not fall out. So already I can feel like Libra's energy is a bit all over the place, just for the way that the cards are kind of acting up a little bit. Also, Libra, what's happening with your throat? Are you having issues when it comes to communication? Are you feeling intimidated? Are you not able to express yourself fully at the moment? What's happening there? Because my throat all of a sudden has just gone dry as hell. So Libra, for your overall energy, we have the King of Swords. Sorry, I was just scratching my arm if you heard that. So it's almost like for the month of November, I mean, just forget everything else for a second. Let's just look at this guy. He looks quite intimidating, no? And I don't know if you were going to be the intimidator, or I don't know if you feel intimidated, but either which way, it feels like there's a massive intimidation going on at the moment when it comes to you guys. And again, I'm not sure if it's you that's the intimidator or if someone is intimidating you. But we know that you're ready because we simply have this guy here in his armor with his sword up, ready to take action. And you can see that, you know, he may be intimidating, but this guy is speaking his truth. You can see here he's got his blue, I don't know if that's a top, a tunic. I don't know the words for these things. He has his blue here, which talks about like the truth. It's the throat chakra. So that's interesting because I literally just said something about the throat. So you could be having a lot of throat issues in the month of November. That could be due to like emotional suppression. So you could not be expressing yourself correctly when it comes to your emotions, or you're suppressing how you feel just to kind of keep the peace, or maybe you don't really know what you feel, or you don't know how to express how you feel. But whatever it is, it feels like the communication could be a bit of a problem. And whether the way you're communicating is riling people up, and it's kind of like, because, you know, I did mention intimidation, but at the moment all I can feel is my throat feeling tight, like I can't, it's almost like the words just don't want to come out almost. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. So it could be for a lot of Libras that you're, I wouldn't say afraid to express how you feel. You could be afraid, but it could just be maybe you don't know how to express how you feel, or it could just be that, you know, we're conditioned from birth. So it could just be one of those things where it's like a condition that you've had where you just sit on your emotions and you don't express yourself. I know for a lot of men that's the case. They're told, you know, men don't cry and you have to suck it up and all that kind of stuff. That could be a thing for Libras this month, in the month of November. So Libra, if you are the one that's being intimidated by someone, and it could be this guy, so it could be another air sign that's intimidating you at the moment, stay in your truth, because he is wearing blue here. So even if your voice shakes, you know, there's that meme or that post or quote that says, you know, even if your voice shakes, still speak, like continue to speak, even if your voice shakes. Be authentic to yourself, express yourself authentically, because it doesn't matter about this person. You say what you need to say for you. Be authentic to yourself. If you feel a certain way, then you feel a certain way, that's valid. So on the other side, Libra, if you are the intimidator, I can see that the reason why you're intimidating people is because you're really passionate about what it is that you're trying to get across. You have his red cape here and he's got his sword up and he's leaning forward and he's kind of like, try me, you know? It's like you know what you know and there's no denying what you know. So someone can come up to you and say boo and you'll just be like, yeah, whatever. It's like you can try all you like to try and prove me wrong, but the fact is I'm right. And that's great, because we all have our own truth and stuff, but it's not really about right or wrong. So if you are the intimidator and, you know, you are kind of like leaning forward and kind of like being up in people's grills and faces, and you're just like, yeah, don't try me. Like, I'm right. I'm always right. That's fine, but that's not going to work for very long. So, yeah, I don't know. Libra, I think we've got half and half here. I think like half of Libras are probably going to be the intimidatees. And then we're going to have the other half of Libra, which will probably be the intimidators. So whichever way it is, one side can't express themselves and the other side is expressing a little bit too much to a point where they're intimidating people. Find the balance, maybe. Maybe November's about finding that balance. When it comes to your work and your finance, we have the Hanged Man over here. So, sorry, my hand's all over the place if you can see the shadows. It could be when it comes to your work and your finance that you're feeling a little bit stuck. It's almost like you have, if you look at the Hanged Man here, I'll try and bring him in closer for you. He has like that light bulb effect around his head. And every time I see the Hanged Man, although he's stuck, I always look at it like he does have these great ideas. He does have this thought process that will be able to set him free if he really, excuse me, if he really does put that to the test. Like if he really does use those thoughts and he really does like use what he knows, he can actually set himself free. So when it comes to work and stuff, it could be that maybe you have like all these ideas about what it is that you want to do, but because you have so many ideas, it's almost now you're just kind of like, well, I don't really know which one to do now, and you've kind of got yourself caught up. It could be that financially you could be a little bit stuck. Maybe finance isn't coming in as quickly or as abundantly as you want it to. But just know, like, you've got some good ideas going on there when it comes to like your work. So don't be afraid to use those ideas, because it's those ideas that are going to help you climb that ladder. And you know, like you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like you have to experiment with things to know what's going to work and what isn't going to work. So don't worry too much about overthinking about, is this going to work? Just do what it is that you want to do. Excuse me. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. You've learned something. If it does work, brilliant. It means that, you know, you're just, whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going to be climbing the ladder regardless. Whether it's a lesson is always a blessing. They say, you know, we have our lessons and we have our blessings, and people see lessons as like, you know, not a good thing, but the lesson is the blessing. So it's almost like experiment. Do what it is that you know, you've got all these ideas and stuff. Start putting some of them to the test, start experimenting, and you'll learn more. And once you start putting those thoughts into a movement, you will just automatically just set yourself free from being stuck. And then that entails, obviously, it goes with finance coming in as well. So once you do kind of like set yourself free, finance will start coming in a little bit more quicker and a little bit more like stable as well. So when it comes to your communication and your truth, it's almost like you're kind of looking at where you are and where you've come from, and it's almost like you're questioning where you've come from. So you could be maybe questioning like your beliefs, or like because it's quite a physical thing. It could be maybe like your family were a certain religion, and now you've got to a point where you don't really believe in that religion, and you're kind of looking back and you're kind of thinking, well, does that make sense? Well, it doesn't make sense to me, but you know, that's everything I've ever known, so maybe it is right. You could be looking at past relationships, past work, past situations, whatever it is. I feel like it's contributing to the fact that you're having a lot of throat issues at the moment, because it's almost like you're speaking about a past tense that you don't really resonate with anymore. So it's almost like you're trying to speak a truth that you don't actually believe in anymore, if that makes any sense. So I'm not surprised that you have throat issues if you're trying to speak your truth, but your truth is actually not your truth anymore. When it comes to your plan of action, you have the Ace of Cups, and the only message I get with this is that you've got to start listening to how you feel. Because it's like if you're suppressing those emotions, and you obviously are, because the amount of times I've coughed in your reading, it's almost like my feelings are stuck in my throat right now. So it's almost like you're not allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel. And my thing then would be, we have the Ace of Cups here to kind of like confirm what I was talking about. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling an emotion. And, you know, if the emotion does come out of, you know, the cup and it overflows, that's fine. It just proves that for the last however many years you've been on this planet, that you've just suppressed a whole heap of shit that needed to be released. And it's time to release that. It's time to release that. There's no point in holding on to something that doesn't serve you anymore. So when it comes to your plan of action, allow yourself to feel what you need to feel so you can heal, so you can move on, and you won't have those throat issues, and you won't have all of that tension, you know, because we do carry a lot of tension in our upper bodies as well. So if you are having like back problems or suffering from headaches or tension headaches, whatever it is, like from the chest up, whatever it is, sinusitis, whatever it is that you're suppressing, you've been suppressing that shit for years, and I can feel it in my body right now as I'm talking about it, in my back, my shoulders, in my sinuses. So it's time to release whatever it is that you've been holding on to. And by doing that, that's going to open up, not only just release yourself from a burden, it's going to like open up a lot more opportunities, in the sense that, you know, that I understand the first time that you feel something for the first time, it's overpowering and it can be very overwhelming, and you might cry for 3 weeks like I did when I went through the dark night of the soul. But if it wasn't for that experience, I wouldn't understand the full meaning of what love is. You know, to understand love, you have to understand fear. You know, to understand the day, you have to understand the night. So it's almost like, allow yourself to feel the depths of what you feel, and don't judge it, just feel it, you know. When it comes to your relationships, and I'm laughing again because me and one of my friends were talking about this not so long ago. When it comes to your relationships, you have the Queen of Wands, and we all know that when it comes to fire signs, they do like a bit of attention. So it could be that Libra, this month you are looking for attention when it comes to your relationships, whether it's a partner, your family, your friends, whichever way it goes, work colleagues, you're looking for that attention. But it's almost like, if you look at the Queen of Wands, she's covered in yellow, which is your solar plexus, which is all about kind of like your confidence and your willpower. And then she's wearing orange, which is all about the womb, and like the sacral chakra, not just the womb, sorry, the sacral chakra. And she's got what looks like red on her arms here. So it's almost like you're putting on this, look at me, pay me attention, because here I am. I don't even feel like, I think on a deeper level, like if we look at this card here, there's a lot of stuff going on emotionally for Libras. But I think that when it comes to relationships, it's almost like you're just kind of rocking up on a surface-based level and kind of like, look at me, like I need attention. Like, no. It's almost like, that's fine. I'm going to be honest. We all need attention. We are human at the end of the day. I know people like to bang on about being spiritual and everything being neutral and all that kind of stuff, but we are here to be human. So it's only human to want attention. So if that's from your family, your friend, your man, your woman, whatever it is, you are looking for a little bit of attention. You could be getting attention from the wrong kind of places, which is, I mean, it's going to happen. If you look as good as the Queen of Wands, it's going to happen. What can I say? But as far as your relationships, I feel like most of them are okay. But I do feel like there is an area. And the fact that it's the Queen of Wands, which is all about action, it could be that maybe you're not getting any action. Whether that is your man or your woman. Excuse me. I'm guessing that it probably is a lot of you, you know, for a lot of you it is your man or your woman, because I nearly just had a coughing fit. So if it is your man or your woman that you're having issues with, and that maybe you feel like you're not getting enough attention from your partner, maybe now's the time to figure out why there's kind of like a block between you two when it comes to like the affection or the connection. If you're trying to get attention from your family or your friends, again, same thing applies. What is it that you feel like you need attention for? You know, like always ask whys. I always say rabbit hole the whys, because when you why, it's almost like you find the answer eventually. So, excuse me, Libra. I think that some of you might be triggered by the emotional and relationship part of this reading, because my throat literally just went crazy. So Libra, I hope that made sense, and I hope that resonated with you on some level. Let me know in the comment section below, and I shall catch you in my next video. Bye.